Welcome back. During this festive time, visiting India was another global CXO. FleishmanHillard's global CEO, John Saunders. John is a veteran in communications and public relations. I caught up with him and spoke to him about how the role of a PR agency has changed, some of the top things to consider while making a company's PR strategy in today's times, and the way forward for this industry. John, welcome to CNBC TV18.
Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to be here.
You're looking dapper in a kurta, I must say.
Thank you. It's my favorite color.
Good to know. So, John, you are visiting India after a couple of years, I believe. What excites you about the India market today?
Well, first of all, I always loved coming here for many reasons. But on a personal level, while I represent a firm that's headquartered in America, I am Irish, and I think there are very deep connections between Ireland and India, both in a contemporary and historical context. But most of all, when I come to India, what I find that I don't find in any other country is a sense of humor that's very akin to that of the Irish. And nowhere in the world do I go that I find that people celebrate irony in a way that you do here in India, as we do in Ireland. Most other countries don't get irony, but you do to a spectacular degree, and I very much identify with that. But from a business point of view, it's imperative to be here in India. I mean, India politically is one of the most important countries in the world today, but economically increasingly so.
So much has changed, John, over the past couple of years. How has the role of a PR agency changed, especially, post the pandemic as compared to what it was prior?
First one is that the imperative to communicate with one's staff, with one's employees, has changed and probably changed forever. In that, quite literally, everyone's staff was a captive audience because they turned up in the workplace every day. And so throughout the pandemic, there's been a great call on firms like ours to help our clients as they figured out how do you communicate with a workforce that often maybe 100,000 people, 200,000 people, or even more when they are all working remotely. So that presents very different challenges. And now here we are today where it looks like for the foreseeable future, who knows what's going to happen in 5 years' time, but it's going to be a hybrid workforce and a workforce that has increasing power. In other words, the power today resides very much with employees rather than the employer.
That's internal. What about external?
Externally, I think the CEOs were very keen to remain neutral on all of the issues of the day, whereas both employees and customers are increasingly expecting CEOs to take a stand or have a view on the issues of the day, whether they're to do with politics or do with the environment or a whole range of other subjects, including mental health, for example. And that is uncomfortable for a lot of CEOs whose primary focus has been the bottom line, but they now need to be able to communicate on a range of other issues.
Great. You have been, ever since you stepped stepped into the business, you have been with Fleischman for a very long time now. I believe you were 26 or 27 when you joined the agency. What has changed and what has evolved in this business over the past so many years, and what have been the key milestones of your journey?
Well, when I came into this business from journalism, public relations was largely a subset of marketing. At its best now, marketing is really a subset of communications, broader communications. And what we see today is that the role of the Chief Communications Officer is one that reports directly into the CEO. So it's very much a C-suite conversation in a way that it wasn't in the past. And CEOs realize that communications is an integral part of the business success and business culture today. And so that has really changed. I think going back 20, 30 years ago, a lot of people who came into the business came from my type of background. They were former journalists. Increasingly, we're seeing specialists coming in from all kinds of other areas of business life, and research and data is now a key component of what we do. So, I mean, today, FleishmanHillard employs dozens, if not hundreds, of individuals who are data scientists.
What are the things, John, that one should consider while making the PR strategy for an organization? With social media, with so much up and down roller coaster kind of a macroeconomic situation that organizations are dealing with everything happening.
Yeah, it's a really good question, and particularly when you add the dimension of social media. To me, if there's one word that's pivotal to this conversation, that is the word earned. Ultimately, we all, whether as individuals or as corporations, you have to earn your reputation. And I believe at the center of everything we do, every campaign, it's about how is this building the reputation of the brand, building the reputation of the company. And there's no easy way to doing that. And I think that those companies that somehow believe that their PR activity can be some kind of sweet sugar that you pour over a sour situation, or it's camouflaging bad behaviors, there's no real future in that. Today, even very small brands, even very, like a startup, pick anywhere, pick a startup in Kerala, can become a global sensation very quickly by having a smart social strategy, and can very quickly garner an audience that could be from anywhere in the world. Heretofore, that was absolutely impossible. So spending money wisely with a very good social strategy can make an enormous difference to business. And so I see that the role of influencers within our business, for example, specifically in areas like healthcare, can make and will make a very big difference in the years to come. And we can now count the impact, thanks to what I mentioned earlier on about the data scientists we have. We can now count the impact in a way that public relations was quite unable to do, again, only a short few years ago.
Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today.
It's my great pleasure. Thank you, Shubhani.